60 Minecraft building tips and tricks. If you know some of these, I am very proud of you. Number 1, when making a lot of shipping containers, you can use regular barrels, or you can use a combination of a bunch of trapdoors to even look like other types of barrels. Like, I usually use spruce, but you could also use oak or acacia, but usually spruce turns out to be the better one for that. Number 2, if you have random logs here for a build, let's say you were building like a lumberjack or something, you could use rails as a simulation, like make it to where they seem tied down, and it actually looks really nice. Number 3, I have 2 wheelbarrow designs that I'm not sure which one you would go for, but one of them has a use for storage, the other one doesn't. This one's made with a cauldron, grindstone, and a fence gate that opens inward. Same thing with this one's a fence gate, barrel, and a grindstone. They both look really cool. I would probably go with this one more just because it gives more that wheelbarrow look. Number 3, you can make a pretty cool wishing well with a chain and a cauldron above like something that's just water here. There's nothing here right now because I was very limited on space because I'm super flat. But you can make a pretty cool little fountain like this with new tough blocks, and it looks pretty nice. Number 4, you can use these decorated pots as a good little column. Just when you get really far away, since these count as entities, you're not really going to see them from a far distance, so that's the only downside. But if you're relatively close or even underground, you could use these as a nice column pillar, and they look very nice, especially when placed with terracotta and mud and spruce. They look really nice, so this is just a little bell thing. Number 6, you can make some pretty cool like rusted pieces of iron or steel, or even just regular ones. Like you can use andesite combined with the polished tuff to make it look like a polished, nice, brand new steel beam. Or you can even use the smooth red sand and acacia stairs to give it like a nice rusted feel. These work good for like construction sites or even like train cargo. So these are really nice. I really like these a lot. Number 7, you can use grindstones along with stairs and slabs of your choice, and then other stairs in the middle to make really cool caterpillar treads. So you got this design here which does 4 and 4 and then with a 2 block center, and then you got this one with a 6 block center with 2 and 2 on the side. So I really like both of these. I would go with either one of them. They really work well for like big tractors, so I think they look really cool. Number 8, 3 really simple fence designs you could do is these 2 are just walls combined with fences, but this one has string on top. So this is just a normal mud wall with oak fences, really blends in pretty good. And then you have this one which has string on top, so it gives it that nice like dip on top, so it's got a nice little column with dark oak. And then you've got one like this that kind of makes it seem like a barbed wire fence almost. When you do cobblestone with the iron bars and then candles on top, it makes it look like a spiky iron fence. You could probably do this for like a prison build or something. So I think that's really cool as well. Number 9, you can use green glass panes along with brown candles to make these look like cattails. The little dills that you see in like in certain water areas. I'm not 100% sure where you find these things, but if you wanted to give it that nice little texture, it looks pretty good. Plus, considering the fact that you can waterlog glass panes actually makes a really cool difference as well. Number 10, a good way to break up a build, especially if you have like a really flat wall, is to add walls. Add just like that little bit of wall. So if I got rid of that, it kind of looks a little bit weird, right? But when you add this, it doesn't look horrible at all. I also ended up adding trapdoors right here, and they do connect as well once you put them on the side. So you got that little extra connection that hides like this part of the block if you don't like to see that part. Plus on the door as well, so you can do them around corners on like windows or even doors. A good example of this is just like this. This is a house that I did for a video a while back, and this actually looks really nice. This is a good example of how you can integrate slabs, walls, and fences onto a build to give it more of a pop instead of it being a flat wall. Number 11, you can use quartz stairs in a formation just like this and then waterlog the stairs to make it look like a bathtub, and then you can use a lever as a faucet. Number 12, kind of the same concept as the bathtub, but you can make a shower with a bone block here that looks like it has a drain, and then you can use, instead of a lever, a tripwire hook to kind of simulate the spout on the shower. I don't know what it's actually called. Number 13, 3 simple mirror designs that you could do for like a bathroom mirror. You could do a glass pane and a glow ink sac to make it seem like it's a mirror, and it's just like one of those glowing ones. You could use a banner and texture the banner to make it look like a mirror, or you could just use like ice or glass. It would look weird on the other side, but it helps a little bit. And then you can even use these chiseled bookshelves as a nice countertop as well. Number 14, if you're struggling to think about what you want to put on the side of a build, like next to your doorway, try any of these combinations and see if they work. The best one that I would recommend is either number 4 or number 1 or number 4, because I love the iron bar because it looks like the levers perfectly connect to the iron bar. The same thing with the chain, it just looks like it perfectly connects. It does the same with the end rod and the lightning rod. The only bad thing about the end rod and lightning rod is that you have that one part at the end of both of them that sticks out too much, and I don't like it. What you could do with the lightning rod, actually, if you wanted to use a lightning rod, what I would do is make it to where it's 4 blocks then. Because then you can put the lightning rods in the middle to where they're connecting, and then all you have is the rod part going that way. So if you're going to use a lightning rod, that's the design I would go for. Number 15, you can make a really cool sewer design coming out of a wall with just some simple stairs and slabs. You can use this for any kind of thing, like a city build and an industrial build. It all works good no matter what. Number 16, if you wanted to make a build to where it looked like the forest around it either burnt down or has been dead for some time, you could use blackstone to make a really nice burnt tree, and it actually turns out very good. I did not know how well this is going to turn out, but it looks pretty well. You're going to have some stuff that doesn't connect, like if you're going to connect walls to stairs, they don't actually have that connection part to them. I wish they did. But yeah, that's just how Minecraft works sometimes. And then you can even use basalt, mud, and stone buttons as rocks around the area to give it that effect of like this land has been burnt for a while, vegetation has not been here, it's just a dead wasteland. Number 17, now we all know the glass trick, right? Putting layers of glass and then putting an air block in the middle of each layer to where you get this foggy glass effect, right? What I don't think people know is that if you put concrete, sorry, around like the base layer of where the end of the glass is, you get a way better fog effect than you do if you just did stone all the way on the sides. You see how it becomes more red and it feels more red as we even go up too? You got that more deep red feel. That is exactly why I always do concrete on the sides, because it gives it that more of a pop. And if you were ever going to do like a starry design, you could do the same thing, just surround it with black concrete or black concrete powder or any type of black, really dark block. And then you could put end rods inside and they look like a glowing starry night sky. It gives a really nice cool effect, dude. It looks nice. Number 18, I like building trains. It's really fun to build trains in Minecraft, and I've come up with a really cool design. 3 ways that you could do tracks. Now this is just how I do tracks. It varies for everybody, especially about the train build. The best way that I do it is I do it 3 blocks in the middle with spruce stripped logs, and then I do either stone, polished andesite, or polished tuff, sorry, or polished deep slate. I use either one of those 3 because they look amazing. I'm starting to go more with the tuff because it looks like a more natural rail color. Deep slate looks good if you're going to do like a mountainous terrain, as if like it's been there for a second and it's gotten a little bit darker, or this is like a fresh track or something like that. And then you can like use these as like a deterioration color. So like you could switch to the polished tuff if you wanted to make the track look a little bit more dingy, and then you could go to stone completely if you're like, okay, this track has been used for some time, it's lost its brand color, it's fading, it's the power of nature, it's just over time it's worn down. So yeah, and then you put spruce slabs on the side where the logs are connecting, and it makes a really nice track design. So not sure if you're going to incorporate this, but it's a very simple design for a train track if you want something simple. Number 19, when it comes to roofs, you can just build a roof like this, right? Just a normal simple roof just like this that's very flat. You can definitely do that, all power to you. I'm not going to deter anybody from doing what they love to do. I do have 3 simple little designs that could make your roofs a little bit better. We have a simple A-frame, or a triangle frame right here. That's just 1 block up each with stairs on it. And then you come in and you put, so you'd only put these stairs on top of the blocks first, but then you'd come in and then put stairs underneath, and it gives that nice pattern to it underneath here. The one behind it goes a little bit further. It incorporates the same thing, but instead of stairs here, we used full blocks. And then we put the stairs on the bottom, and it also goes, and that's just all it does. So instead of the stairs, on the end, we use the blocks, put the stairs on the bottom. So it's basically the same A-frame, but with a different concept. We're using full blocks at the front instead of stairs. Now you can do a high A-frame. That's what I call it. I don't know if it's actually called a high A-frame, but the same concept. You could do stairs up front, then go up by a 2-block right here, then go up another little bit. This is how I usually do my roofs. I love that little like height when it comes to the 2-block part, so I usually always do 2 blocks when I do my roofs. Sometimes it looks very good. It's the simple one that I go with. I can always count on it to give a bit more height to a build. So there's 3 simple designs that you can do to kind of spruce it up. So you could either go with the normal stairs, put blocks in front and then stairs on the bottom, or you could do stairs all the way and then add 2 as a pillar part to make it a little bit higher. 20, to add a little bit of variation to a build, if you wanted to not have an entire house that was only just like this and you wanted to add something on the side, like maybe a little greenhouse or something, what I would recommend is a slanted roof. So the 2 little designs here for a slanted roof on how you could do the roof part. We have a slab, we have 2 slabs, a slab, and stairs. So basically this part's just made out of slabs and stairs for the entire thing. You don't want to do a full block, and the reason why, when you do a full block in either one of those positions, it adds too much of a big gap there. Or not a gap, but it adds too much of a thickness, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It looks a lot better when you add slabs, and because slabs can be placed on blocks like this, so you can actually make like a good transition in between 2 blocks on, like, let's say you're going to do a gradient and you didn't want it to stand out a lot, you could use slabs or even trapdoors with that method, and it looks really good when transitioning to another block. I've used that technique a little bit in other builds, so it looks really nice. And then the back part here, the only thing you do back here is simple. You want to lay out your frame with the base of the block that you want the building to be made out of, then put a full block and a stair on top for this part. Don't do anything else to this full part except for full block stair, full block stair, full block stair, full block stair. And then when you come to this side, experiment a little bit. Where the stairs are, put the slabs one below it. Put slabs and stairs one below it. So just experiment with it. It's not easy to get the hang of it the first time. It's a little bit complicated. Slanted roofs are definitely a pain in the butt. And then you've got this one over here that's a little bit more simple. Yeah, just 2 little simple designs if you wanted to do a slanted roof. Now, again, like I said, it's personal preference. It could take some time to get used to slanted roofs. It definitely takes me a little bit of time because I don't build out of slanted roofs all that much like this. So just don't beat yourself up over it if you don't get it right the first time. Number 21, 3 simple ways that you can hide water for your farm. If you didn't know, 1 block of water can hydrate this much cropland. It's a 4x4x4x4 in every direction. If you wanted to do just a simple farm like this for a wheat field, you could do the fence gates with the mud brick walls with torches on fences, and then it looks really nice. If you wanted to even hide the water in the middle, what you could do, what I would recommend, is grabbing a muddy root, because these can be waterlogged. It still hydrates the farmland, and you don't have to worry about falling in the water every time you want to go on the crops. Another way you could do this is just by simply waterlogging some stairs, putting a wall over it so it doesn't look weird, and then it'll hydrate the entire lane of crops as well. It actually looks really nice. I've never done this before, but I'm really curious to try this in the next thing that I do, so I'm definitely going to be trying that. Or you could do the simple part and just hide your water source under like a wall. Let's say that this is the side of your house and you wanted to have a farm right next to your house. Easily just hide the water source right there by the side of the wall, and then there you go. Number 22, 3 really nice lamp designs that you could do. This one you could do for like a street lamp. You have the green frog light with dark oak, a hopper, and an anvil. Very expensive because of the iron that you have to use for this, but it's really cool no matter what. You could even transition this out for glowstone, shroom lights, sea lanterns, whatever you really wanted to. I think that this makes for a good street lamp if you're just doing something for like a walkway or something up to your house. This is really cool. I've never done this before, but as a ceiling fan. So I put the yellow frog light in the middle with oak trapdoors in a pattern so that it looks like it would be spinning if it was able to be turned on. And then you have spruce trapdoors up here with a hopper up top. So in theory, this would technically be like on a roof, not out in the open, but this looks really cool. I'm very proud of this one. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, so I'm very proud of that. Or you could go with a simple 2 end rods and 2 levers as a light. This would work for like supermarket builds. I love this little thing as like a supermarket thing or some type of like city build. It really stands out and it looks really good as well. Plus you got that little effect from the end rods as well, where it kind of has that little crystal thing that comes off, so it looks like it's gleaming. It's all polished, it's all nice, it's brand new, it looks really nice. Number 23, using the new copper bulbs that we have, you can make a pretty cool traffic light system. This is all the 3 different versions of the light as well. You could do the bright copper for red, the second stage for yellow, and then the third stage for green. And it really does look good, especially when you come back far away. You'd have to hook this up to redstone in some way, or even just get a button. Because with the different dims on the lights too, you can see that red is the brightest, yellow's second dimmest, and then the green is the very dimmest. But it looks really nice in my opinion, because you'd want red to be the brightest one because you really want to stop. And then for a little decoration street light, this doesn't turn on at all. You could just possibly make this instead of glass into an actual light bulb. That's personally up to you. I would do something like this, possibly. So you have andesite slabs and stairs with any type of glass block of your choice, plus the tough walls, and then an andesite block at the bottom. It makes a really nice street light. It looks pretty good in my opinion. You could obviously, like I said, switch this out for an actual glowing block, like if you wanted to have one of the frog lights there. I do think that glass looks the best in my opinion though. So I would probably go with glass and then find another way to light it up around the area at least. Number 24, a good way to incorporate redstone blocks into a build. I would recommend something where you can hide them clearly, like I've done with trains, or even a castle design. These are the back of pistons. If you go on this side, you can see it doesn't actually look good on this side, but we don't talk about that side. Side it just looks like reinforced stone, and I really like that, especially when you're going for a medieval type build. I really want to incorporate this some way. I'm not sure how. I'll have to figure that out. But then I use observers as like the pulley system for whenever they bring up the drawbridge as well. So I thought that that was a really cool touch to it. And then up top I used the fence design that we saw earlier with the candles and the iron bars on top as well, to give it that nice little rugged, not rugged, but that little sharpness to the top, I guess. So number 25, I have 3 simple cannon designs. So when I say cannon designs, I'm talking about like cannons that you'd see from like the Civil War or like the pirate era. I like this one. It just seems a little bit too thick on the sides, maybe not thick, but maybe like too pointy on the sides. This one is thick. I don't know what I was thinking with this one. This one's huge, but this one's just fine. And then you can use candles as well to simulate like the actual like firing mechanism that happens too. Because you know how they have to like hit the torch and then it goes boom and comes out. You could also use glass at that point, or even cobwebs to give it an effect. Like here, you could even use cobwebs to make it seem like it's fired out a ball or something, and then you can even light the candles at the back to make it seem like the cannon is actually fired. Like I think that looks pretty nice as well for a cannon. Number 26, if you're ever struggling with what to do around your terrain after you've made stuff, I would recommend putting just simple rocks. You could do gravel with stone buttons and then just cobblestone and stone, and it makes it look like a nice formation of rock around your area. It breaks up the terrain, it makes it look a little bit better. So it's just this little simple design to help bring some texture into the build. Number 27, if you put banners on the side of a window on the inside of the house, it looks like a nice curtain. It's a very little simple thing, but it looks nice nonetheless. Number 28, when doing pathways, what I would always recommend is putting blocks around the pathway. 9 times out of 10, I will sometimes go with this, but then I will also transition into like a mixture of different blocks on the side. So here we have granite, mud, and coarse dirt on the side, just to break up the texture, so it's not just like a pathway sitting on regular grass. You know what I mean? Like it has a bit of like, it to me it makes it feel weathered, and it makes it feel grainy. I don't know if that makes any sense though. Number 29. If you use item frames behind a torch and then you put an item in the item frame, you can make it look like the torch is being held on the wall or even supported. I don't know if you've ever seen those movies where there's like torches that are hanging on the wall and they've got like a metal dill around them. That's easily how you could do this. And then if you had a command where you can hide item frames, it looks so much better. I would probably always recommend iron trapdoors for this though, or some type of trapdoor, because it fits the torch very well. So you could even do the same effect for lanterns when they're hanging, because you can put an item frame above them plus an item and then turn it, and it looks like a good supporting little chandelier. Number 30, you can make 2 nice canopy umbrellas using beds and a flower pot plus terracotta of your color, especially with the beds. If you just place them on a fence post like this and then place the beds around, then you place a flower pot on top, you get a nice little umbrella that you can put at like a beachside resort or just like a beach time build. It looks very nice for like a tropical paradise as well. Number 31, to go along with the canopies or even for a campsite, you can use wool. You can use wool carpet with snow blocks to represent sleeping bags. Because since snow blocks can actually, or snow layers can actually be layered up one by one, you can do different types of pillows depending on who's sleeping there at the time. So if they want, you know, like a big pillow, you can put a big one, small one, or even just a medium pillow. It very much depends on what you want to do. Plus, it just very well is fun that snow is able to do that. I wish more blocks were like that, because that'd be so much fun. Number 32. To make a really cool parking lot or even a road design, if you take black concrete powder and then you put bamboo signs on top of black carpet, you put the black carpet on top and then surround it with the black concrete, it looks like a nice little divider. So you can make this like parking spots or even lanes on a highway. It really is nice. I would probably use this for parking spots, so I wouldn't use this for lanes on a highway, just because there's so much signs you have to use. And remember that signs are an entity, and entities, the more that you have later down the line, can cause your game to run bad. So number 33. Now you don't always have to do this, but especially if you're going for a bigger build, what I would do is I would change it up a bit. So you also see how I use the 3 different roof designs that we showed earlier in this one area. I usually most of the time go with this type of roof. I love this type of roof. It's one of my favorites. This looks like a minion. I just realized. Looks like a minion with a fringe. But this is one of my favorite roof designs. I go with is the middle one. But if you really want to break up a build, I would recommend putting stuff on the side of it. So putting like a little dip out here, and then you, like I said here, you have the angle roof. Now you would have to completely incorporate how you would design connecting this up, and again, that comes down to personal preference. So I can't really speak for everybody, but for me, when I do stuff like this, I would always break it up with these two. I have hardly ever done it with an angle roof. I'm going to start to try and do more angle roofs in the future, but I usually end up doing these 2 roofs connected to each other in some way or form. It makes the build pop for me. It looks good. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, for my mega base in my 1.19 let's play, I did towers to break up on the corners. So it just felt really good to do. So again, like I said, comes down to personal preference, but what I would always do, if you can and if you want to, what I would do, especially for a bigger build, is try to break up the build. Try to break it up into segments and make the roof designs a little bit different. Number 34, if you put anything in an item frame, especially I would do carpet for this, and then you turn it, you can make it look like cabinets in a kitchen or in a bathroom or wherever you want to put it. Number 35, I cannot stress this enough. When it comes to building a house, either go for a 2-block center or a 1-block center. Trust me, it makes way more sense later down the line. Because if you end up doing a top roof like that, which 9 times out of 10 people end up doing a top roof like that anyway, unless you're doing like a skyscraper build, then you can do like a 3-block center or a 4-block center, however what big you want the center to be for the doorway, right? Those are exceptions. But if you're going to do like a normal house, I would always go with the 2 or 1-block center, because it makes doing a roof way easier. These are just simple little things that you could do here for a little bit of a roof, but it does make the symmetry a lot better on the eyes, and it just feels a lot better when you're doing a normal house with a 2 block center or 1 block center. So keep that in mind when you're trying to build a house. Number 36, a good way to break up a wall, especially if you want it to look like the wall has been here for a bit, is starting to deteriorate and you want it to make it seem like it's seen the test of time. I would do slabs and stairs with that corresponding block. Then you can make it seem like there's dips in the wall. There's like parts here that have been torn away over time. Maybe somebody came by and just tore it off the wall because they're stupid or they're rude or whatever. You know what I mean? That was kind of, I don't know why I said that. You know what I mean? You make a build really pop out whenever you add like a bit of depth to it just by simply doing something like this. Because even on the other side, it looks fine, right? If you wanted this to still be your house, the other side looks completely fine. The outside looks a little bit dingy. So, it's up to you. Number 37, a really cool amount of potted plant designs that you can do is like the azalea bush with moss on top. Makes a cool potted plant. Same thing with the azalea bush and the azalea leaves on top. And then if you use the mangrove leaves with either a propagule or a cactus in them, they look pretty nice. I think I would usually go with the cactus other than the propagule, to be honest though. Or you can use the actual potted plant, the actual decorate pot item, and put moss leaves on top, and then you can even still see inside the little pot part. So I'm not sure if you would do this design, but 9 times out of 10 I would go with one of these 4. So number 38, a nice way to make like garbage bags is by doing dried kelp blocks with the dead horn coral fan. If you put that on top, it gives it like that the string that trash bags have. It gives it that nice like string there on top to make it seem like the trash bag's already been tied up. It's ready to go to the dumpster. You could use these as just like for city builds, or what I would recommend is a landfill. If you're gonna make a landfill build for a city, I would put a crap ton of these around the area, because it's like a trash compost facility as well. You could do the exact same thing. So put those around the area and it really seems nice. It's a really nice way to break stuff up. It's a nice way to do texture, especially when building with coral, because I don't build out of this block very much, so I never really have a need for it. But that's the only exception that I would ever use coral blocks for, or the kelp blocks, I'm sorry. Number 39, you can make 4 different potted plant designs hanging from chains. Keep in mind that they don't all look correct and they all don't look right. So we have a cornflower, an allium, cactus, and an azalea bush. The azalea bush and the cactus honestly look the best, and even some of the like saplings look good too. The allium doesn't look horrible either. It also goes a matter of perspective. Like if you have this in a high place, like a couple blocks higher above than what this is right now, you can use flowers because it still gives off the effect that it's hanging from the pot. But if you're going to do it like eye level, I would definitely recommend doing the cactus or the azalea bush because they look the best and they actually even connect up with the top of the plant as well. So number 40, you can make tiki torches by just doing bamboo fences and torches on top. It really looks nice. Number 41, if you wanted to do like some custom old roots around your area, what I would recommend is spruce logs with the root block, and you can put these around your area and make it seem like a nice like swampy feel to it. I started doing this for my hotel build and it looks amazing. So I really like the texture design that these have. And if you really wanted to bring more to a spruce or to a mangrove swamp or even a regular swamp, I would definitely recommend these 2 blocks as well. Speaking of the mangrove roots though, if you add these to just something simple like spruce trees, not everywhere, but sporadically just throughout the trees, you can make it seem like the trees are changing seasons. And then if you wanted to completely take out all of the leaves and then replace them with the roots, and you can make it seem like the trees are literally going through like a seasonal phase. And then like at winter time, you can put fences on them to make it seem like they have no more leaves on it, or you could just keep the mangrove roots, and then once they come back to a certain time that you want, you could just bring the green back. Number 43, you can use the new copper grate blocks, and they really look nice as pipes that come out of like industrial builds. And I believe I'm correct in saying that these can be waterlogged as well. Yes, they can. You could definitely make them look a lot nicer, where they actually seem like they're pumping stuff through. So you know what, this would be very nice for an oil rig build as well. If you wanted to make it simulate like, oh, these are going into the rig or these are underwater, you don't have to worry about that big gap in between the blocks. You can waterlog them and they look fine just like that underwater. Definitely still be used for a sewer idea too as well. Number 44, if you wanted to create a small little waterfall like this, the best thing that I can recommend to break up at least the wall part, do stairs and slabs on the sides of either stone, mossy cobblestone, or some type of stone to keep it on theme with the waterfall that's behind it, or depending on the blocks that you use behind it. And then do a mixture of glass behind, especially since glass can be waterlogged. You can do like a nice foggy, smoky effect as well coming off, as like Niagara Falls and stuff does it. So it looks really nice. It could be bigger, but I was kind of running out of time to get all this done and I wanted to incorporate a waterfall, so I think that that looks pretty good for right now. Number 45, you can make a really nice rusted type of wall for like a very big factory. Let's say you were making a factory and you wanted to tell a story with it, that this wall's been here for a while, the building's starting to crumple down and it's seen the test of time, right? You can add patches of this palette with jungle planks, copper, stage 2 copper, and the even brown mushroom block, and it gives this nice rusted feel to the build. It makes it seem like everything's starting to wither away and it's going to start decaying and stuff. Number 46, a good way to make a green area besides using grass, use carpet, moss, and concrete powder, and it looks very nice as like a artificial grass. So you know how like football fields and some soccer stadiums and everything will have artificial grass and not actual grass? You could use this block palette as a way to make artificial grass in Minecraft. Number 47, if you put moss and green carpet on top of ice, and then you even grab an item from here, you can make a really nice little golf course. I would also recommend doing the snow layers as well to do the hole, because then your block or item just stays up. You don't have to go into the hole to get it. You don't have to break nothing, and it's just right there, and it still goes in. Whoop, come here. Still technically goes in the block and is still a little bit under, so you can tell if you made it in. Number 48, building off of the design that we did earlier with the burnt tree, you could do an entire destroyed forest or even like a dead forest using mud, basalt, blackstone, this version of basalt as well that looks like logs, so it just looks like dead logs here, and then wither roses and then dead bushes as well to give it that feel like this area has just been neglected by nature for some time. Something happened here a while ago. The only thing that can grow is wither roses and dead bushes, and that's it. And then you can use the roots as well to simulate dead leaves that have piled up over time. They're just sitting here, they can't go anywhere, and it's just dead all around. Number 49, you can use the chiseled bookshelves along with stripped oak logs and oak planks to make a really nice floor pattern. I really do like these as a floor. They actually really go well and they make a better pop in the floor, if that makes any sense. Number 50, one of the best ways that I have found to use glazed terracotta for decoration purposes is a floor, especially if you're going to do a corridor, because all versions of terracotta, the glazed terracotta, have two different patterns in the design. You have this big design on the red one, then you have a small circle, big circle, small circle, big circle, small circle, right? You could use this as a hallway design, and the same thing with this one. You have a big one, a small one, you have a big one, and you have a small one. Which I said that wrong. Big, small, big, small, big, small. So it's like orange, flower, flower, orange, right? And then this one, you have the same thing. There's a flower, there's a circle, there's a flower, there's a circle. So you could either use the yellow, the orange, or even the red. I think you can use all the glazed terracotta to do something like this, and it looks very nice nonetheless. Number 51, building off of what we were doing over there just a second ago as well, you could even just place these in a floor pattern just like this. But if you make the floor pattern big enough, you can see the pattern that I was talking about a second ago. Each one has that different pattern. So you have the big circle in the middle surrounded by the 4, you have the big circle surrounded by the 4, and then you have the flower surrounded by the circles. Number 52, if you wanted to make a build to where it looked like the windows have been boarded up over time as like an apocalyptic build, what I would recommend is first using signs And to place the signs over a vacant block, I would use fence gates to where you're going to put the signs, and then I would fill in the rest of the window with slabs. It makes it seem like some of the boards have fallen in as well, and that some of them have just been deteriorated over time. So the slab kind of makes it feel like it was once connected to that part. It fell in a bit. It's still technically blocking the window. It's just not as fortified as the rest of the build. Number 53, you can make 3 simple air conditioner designs for the roofs by using either iron blocks with rails, observers face down with rails, or even furnaces with rails. I think I would personally go with either the furnace or the observer for this. Probably the observer though, because it looks way better too. Like I said, incorporating redstone blocks into common builds is one of my favorite things to do. And I really want to find more uses of how to incorporate redstone blocks with building because it's so much fun, dude. Number 54, using the hanging signs along with any type of log and trapdoors, you can make a really nice fence design without actually having to use fences. And nothing can actually jump over it. I don't think a mob can. I could be wrong. This is probably just more for decorational purposes and not actually functional purposes. So I would recommend using this on a house. If you do it on a house. Number 55, you can make a really cool you can either classify this as a mailbox, or I don't know if anybody knows what a Redbox machine is, but it's a machine where you can go to and actually rent movies from, like the little DVD ones. I don't know if anyone really still uses those Redbox machines anymore, but you can even make it seem like one of those, and it's really cool. So all you just use is a bunch of mangrove. This is actually black concrete down here to make it simulate that there's that opening to where the stuff comes out. And then you have your screen here to where you can just tap it and then put your stuff in. Or even vice versa, you can get rid of that and it's just a mailbox at that point. Number 56, you can use any type of stairs to your liking, put them one way around on one side, the other way around on the other side, and you can make it seem like a vault door, as like a cave entrance, or you know, you're stashing money, something like that, like for a bank. It's a really nice design. It's a simple design, but a really nice design nonetheless. Number 57, if you put wool on top of a fence and then you put a flower pot on top and then you make it to where the flag or the wool kind of comes down a bit, I spoiled it a little bit, you can make a little bit of a flag as well. Number 58, the same thing with the same design on that flag, but this time if you put the wool down, it makes it seem like there's no wind current and it's just hanging on the ground. Not on the ground, but it's just hanging, ready to be blown by the wind. Number 59, if you use bamboo signs with red concrete, carpet, and concrete powder around a dark oak trim, you can make a very nice curtain. And dude, I really think that this is pretty cool. And then even if you put it all the way down on the floor, you could still technically use the bamboo signs. Because you know how curtains have that gold trim on them? The bamboo signs kind of give it that like yellow pop. So it makes it seem like that gold trim on the bottom of the curtain. And finally, number 60, you can use a skulk sensor to open trap doors or iron doors. It's hard to kind of get this done because you can't actually run at it. You have to walk at it, because if you run at it, it doesn't open the door. But if you walk at it, it opens the door. I don't know why it does that when you only walk at it, but that's just how it works. And obviously, if you wanted to shut the sensor up, you have to waterlog it as well. So you have to be relatively close for it to actually work. And the redstone's a little bit weird because it has to be directly connected to the door. So the door technically has to be like this. You have to find a way to cover up the redstone, which isn't really hard. It's just a bit annoying, let's be honest. Iron doors are very annoying to mess with, so. But that was 60 simple tips and tricks for building in Minecraft today. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. I know that there wasn't a lot in this video, and I apologize if I went through some stuff kind of fast. Some of these were very simple. Some of these actually had some depth to them. So I didn't try to make like bigger builds because I didn't want to overwhelm anybody with this video. So I hope I didn't overwhelm anybody, but if I did give you some helpful information and some stuff to use in your own builds, in your own worlds, please let me know down in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for anything else you want to see me build in Minecraft and do a video over, please let me know. I will do some videos on that. I would love to. I love building in this game. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I love entertaining you guys. So with that out of the way, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to join the Amazing Creeper Clan today. We are very close to 700 subscribers, so if you guys would please sub to the channel and help me get over that milestone, I would very much appreciate it. And the Discord link is down in the description below. You are more than welcome to join. You do not have to. It's always there for you guys to click on. It's 100% free as well. Same thing with subbing. It's free. But again, hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I will see you guys in the next episode or whatever else I decide to do in the future. Goodbye.